Hi, everyone. I'm Lee, and this is Vinny. Today, we're continuing our Voices of Valley series, and we'll be talking with Shannon, who is a recent graduate from the Core 2 program and is currently going through recovery management here at Valley Behavioral Health. Thank you so much for joining us today, Shannon.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you. So tell us just a little bit about yourself.
My name's Shannon, and I just recently graduated from residential treatment through Valley Behavioral Health, and I am 29 years old, and I just recently moved into my own apartment, and I love it there. Before that, I was homeless in 2019 and 2020, so I decided to get help through treatment. I was actually probation actually to go to treatment. So that's how I ended up in Core 2. And so I needed to get help. And so I decided to get help. And so I just recently graduated. And a little bit more about me. I have a dog and her name is Peanut. And I like to just have coping skills. I like to go for walks and I journal and art throughout the day, painting and things like that.
So I have to ask, being a big fan of dogs, what kind of dog is Peanut?
She's a Chihuahua Yorkie mix.
My goodness, she's probably a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's really cute. Yeah, she's 8 years old. She's
Oh,
turning
wow.
8, in April. So
Awesome dogs. So what was your life like before you came to the core program?
well, I was homeless. So from January to August, which was a huge part of my life. I stayed outdoors, just walked around. I don't know if I should say this out loud, but I was on drugs and I was an addict. So I'm a recovering addict. Yeah, it was a big part of my life, but I needed to change my behavior and my health. It was not good for my health.
No.
Yeah. So, and I was a drug addict for 4 years. And so I needed to change that. And I've been sober for tomorrow will be 10 months.
That's
And
amazing. Congratulations.
thank you.
It's National Recovery Month this month, so that's a pretty good time to be able to say that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. So thank you.
Of course. You said earlier when we were talking that it was a condition of probation that you sought out help. Did you have any other warning signs that maybe you needed to get some help with addiction?
Well, so I have 5 mental illnesses, and so schizophrenia is one of them.
Mhm.
And my schizophrenia was really out of control when I was using. And so that was a huge red flag that I needed to get help.
You also mentioned that one of the things that you're happy to be able to work with now is coping skills. Is that something you learned through the program at CORE?
Yes, I didn't even know what coping skills meant before I went into treatment. I didn't know what self-care was before I went into treatment. Yeah, so those are huge. I learned a lot while I was there. So before I went into my housing.
So that has to be pretty significant for you after being homeless and after dealing with addiction, and now you have a home you can call your own. That's got to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is. It's very exciting. But yeah, I only have one relative that lives here in Utah, so her and I aren't speaking right now. So I was homeless for 2 years before that, and so 2015, 2016, I was homeless, and I worked in 2017. But then 2018 I was seeing someone, so I lived with him, but then 2019 I was homeless, and 2020 I was homeless. So it's been pretty rough past 5 years of being homeless.
Yeah, I can imagine. You said that you learned through CORE, you learned coping skills and you learned about self-care. What else did you take away from that program?
I learned to be more self-aware and more mindful. I've learned to be more mindful and patient to myself and my surroundings. And just to be patient with myself and not be so impulsive to want to go out and use and be in that part of the world, because being homeless, that's all I used to do, was use and make bad decisions and things like that. So
well, there's a lot more to life than that, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Yeah.
So you're in recovery management now, and that's you're moving towards graduation from the program. What are you most excited about for the future?
My sobriety. I'm really excited about my sobriety. So I'll be a year sober November 4th.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that would be nice. And I'll also be off probation next week. So next, like September 4th or I mean, no, like September 6th, something like that. I'll be off probation. So I think that's next week.
That's pretty exciting. You've got a couple of big milestones coming up then.
Yeah, definitely.
So what does the future look like for you?
It seems pretty bright. I attend my groups and I'll be looking for a job here soon. If I don't get approved for Social Security disability, I applied for that. Yeah, I'll be looking for a job and yeah, basically just hanging out with my dog and staying out of trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you had a pretty good support network built up there at CORE and now through recovery management?
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. Thank goodness. I have a ton of friends. My peers are pretty great. They're awesome. Yeah, and the case managers are really nice too. And my therapist, he's a really great guy. So yeah, and I recommend anybody that's homeless to try and get treatment, so they don't have to use and know that that's, not their whole life. They can get help and everything.
Well, I know with the unsheltered population in Salt Lake City, it's just been growing quite rampantly. So it must have been a pretty hard couple of years for you.
Yeah, it was. It was really hard. Well, and to even get in the program, it takes a week, 2 weeks, and
So was there a point when you were in treatment that you realized that something was going to change, that maybe this was going to be a new future for you?
Yeah, well, so my first few months there, I was like, wasn't thinking that it was going to help me. And I thought, I should just leave. The program wasn't for me. But then after about 6 months, I was like, okay, this is going to help. This is, I'm on my medication. And once, things started to work out because my meds started to work and people were moving up and on and out of the house. So I was like, it finally will work for me. And so, yeah, and it did. So I'm pretty
That's
happy.
awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have graduation coming up?
Well, I already graduated. So, but
Right.
with this recovery program, I'm starting new. I'm at the bottom, I think.
It's just a process though, right?
Yeah, just a process. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Shannon, it sounds to me like you've got a lot of things that are shifting into a positive phase for you for the future, and that's extraordinary. And I would really love to congratulate you for all of your hard work and the effort you're doing towards making things better for you. That's amazing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's so awesome. Thank
Well, I
you.
appreciate you talking with us today. You take care of yourself, and congratulations again.
Okay, thank you. Have a good
All right.
day. Thank
You
you.
too.